Hey, quick question. How fast can you draw? I don't know the exact time for me, but it can take hours to finish a drawing. Now, let me ask you a second question. Why do you think it takes that long? Did you manage to draw faster? Maybe you're like me and get caught up in the little details? Well, I decided to try a timed drawing challenge to see how much I can get done in a short amount of time, but also to see what holds me up in drawing. So here's how this entire thing is going to work. I'm gonna show you each picture I drew in order I did them. So 5 minutes is the first one I started with, and 1 minute is the last one I did. You'll see the full order on screen, so you kind of understand where this is going. Now, the subject for this video is my OC, Cassia Cottontail, from my old webcomic, I Got a Secret and So Do You. I wouldn't suggest reading it, but that's a video for late October. It's been a while since I drew her, and what better time than now to draw her again. With all that setup out of the way, let's now get into the challenge itself. I started with 5 minutes, which wasn't a lot of time, and I didn't have an idea for the pose. So I went with the first idea I had, and the first thing I noticed is I spent a lot of time on... Look, I don't know what to call this part of the drawing process. This helped me get the general idea in shape, which is good, but looking back on it, I could have spent less time on the stage. Not just for this attempt, but for all the attempts going forward, so keep that in mind. Anyways, I didn't get far. This was the first, so it's to be expected. After all, it did set the tone for the rest of the drawings, for better and slightly worse. At least my 10-minute drawing wasn't as bad. Its sketch is more on the messy side, which is fine, but it had most of what I wanted. This would go on to give me a main look for Cassia for the rest of the drawings. A good step forward, I would say. 15 minutes was the furthest I got for this challenge. I actually managed to get to line art. I wasn't able to finish it, but I'm proud of myself I made it to line art anyways. I will say the legs took up way more time than I expected, which is funny because if I was intended to complete the drawing, I would have covered them up anyways. This doesn't mean I should disregard them entirely, but I should use them to get a general idea of the shape. Out of all my attempts, this one is the cutest by far. Now, I was considering doing another attempt, this time being 20 minutes. However, I wasn't really feeling it. Yeah, I just got really tired. But then I remembered other artists having much shorter times to work with, and I thought, why not? So I don't have much to say for my 3-minute and 1-minute attempt. They both look silly and I loved them for that. You can clearly see I was rushing, but it's kind of fun. I would recommend limiting the amount of time you have to draw. Throughout the entire challenge, I was forced to consider how much I was focusing on the drawing. Now, after that, it gave me something to think about, like how much I'm focusing on parts that matter, or if I'm overthinking a part that no one would really care about. Now, I have a time-lapse to show y'all of the finished piece, the pose, and the OC, is what I would say, but I was stupid and accidentally deleted my drawing and forgot to back up the file. On a positive note, I did save the images before that happened. I'm bringing this up because making these images and thumbnails for ABC testing took around 2 hours and 14 minutes. I timed myself, and I'm still upset that I don't have the time lapse. At least for the main image I used for the thumbnails, I still have the time-lapse for the thumbnails in question. Anyways, if there is any art challenge you want to suggest, feel free to comment. If you like the video, feel free to check out my other videos and subscribe. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to rewatch Season 1 of Dungeon Meshi to distract myself. Bye bye.